2 minutes, as well as the last 30 seconds of the presentation. And this is what it looks like. For the last 10 seconds, I'll have my fingers up and I'll be counting down. If you have not finished your presentation after 20 minutes, you will be stopped in order to proceed with the question and answer period, which is 5 minutes max. I will now let, please note that at any time you cannot say or reference the name or the location of your university. I will now let the judges introduce themselves and then you can start your presentation.
Hello, Jean-Roy, marketing professor. That's it.
I'm Philippe Normand, Director Global Marketing for Can-Am Off-Road Vehicles.
I'm Louis Levesque, VP Marketing for beer.
Can we start whenever we're ready?
Good luck.
When I was a little girl, my dad always wanted to take me and my sisters out for whitewater rafting. But let me tell you, this was not an easy story because every time we went to see my mom, she said, no way. There is no way we're going whitewater rafting. It's unsafe, and this is a sport that is an extreme sport. So it took a lot of convincing, and obviously we had to really get her on the bandwagon in order to go whitewater rafting. So before I tell you how we convinced her, let me start by introducing myself and my team. My name is Alexandra, and I'm here with Sarah and Andrew to talk to you about the Outlander L. On the agenda today, we'll be taking you through an analysis of your current strategy. We'll discuss a new strategy. We'll discuss the implementation, and finally we'll take you through the financials. The mandate for today's presentation is to develop a launch strategy so that you can really take the Can-Am Outlander L and take it to the United States. And we are going to deliver a communication strategy, a pricing strategy, and we'll discuss product awareness. Now, with all this being said, Sarah will now take you through the analysis.
All right, so let's start off with an industry analysis, specifically in the United States. So as you know, the mid-cc category grew by 24%. So this is absolutely great for you guys. And we also know that there's a high and low definitely decrease in those categories in the past year. Some things that we can really note is that the ATV industry itself is very competitive. People, in terms of businesses, are really competitive, and as well in terms of people going out and going socializing people. It's a very competitive sport, I guess you can say. And as well for seasonality, the summer points are peak periods, although there is some accessories and stuff to really accommodate winter seasons, but seasons such as the summer are definitely peak seasons for the industry. Next, in terms of consumer analysis, you identified a consumer for us, but we really believe that it can break down even further. So the average consumer for the Can-Am Outlander, they're 37, they're male, they have an average income of $91,000 per year, and they really have some good leisure activities such as gaming, such as going out and playing some sports and things like that. But breaking it down even further, we have our first one, ATV Andy here.
Alright, so I'm ATV Andy. I have a high income and I'm kind of caring about status is what I want to get. So I want to get the best of the best. I'm an expert. I'm really going to notice the performance of the machine that I choose to buy. My market size is small to medium, and I want a high CC. I want something that's really going to match the performance that I'm looking for.
So the next one, I am Fam Sam. I really care about my family. I'm a family man, and my wife, she has a high influence on what I buy. But I really want something that's a part of me. I want to be able to do those big boy things by having comfort and style, but I also want to be able to please my wife sometimes in terms of affordability and safety.
Et bonjour, moi c'est Olivier. En fait, moi je veux vraiment juste quelque chose qui me plaît à mes goûts, mais pour un bon prix. Donc, je veux pas payer trop pour quelque chose qui est vraiment qui vaut pas autant que le prix, mais je veux m'assurer que je peux faire mes passe-temps, toutes mes activités dehors et tout ça pour le bon prix. Et en fait, en ce moment, j'achète beaucoup de produits de BRP, pas nécessairement le Outlander L. Maintenant, in terms of positioning, currently Can-Am is perceived as being innovative and reliable, which is more innovative than your competitors, but you can still improve on those two aspects.
Now in terms of the SWOT is an extension of a SWOT analysis with an E in there, so this is for our Eurekas. These are the big ideas that come out, those aha moments. So let's start out with things that are really going well for your company. Right now, Bombardier itself and Can-Am are global leaders. You really excel in distribution, in marketing, as well as design. You also have premium products, as one you have mentioned in the case here, which we'll be focusing on today, which is absolutely phenomenal. And finally, we noticed that there is an increased market share for the ATV category in 2007. So another great thing that's going on. But there's a couple of things that you definitely need to work on. First off, some of the customers have been seeing Can-Am, specifically the Outlander, as being a little bit too expensive and Can-Am products. And some people have a lack of information when Can-Am does so many awesome things with its products. Definitely should focus on those. And the Eurekas, those aha moments that we came up with. One is that the US economy is strengthening, meaning more people have disposable income, which could really, really benefit you. As well, there's a GoPro trend. As you know, we've seen with some Red Bull commercials. They can do crazy high-adventure commercials and cool things like that using GoPros. So this is a cool eureka that we came up with. And finally, people are becoming more wired, specifically our consumers. They're starting to pick up their phones and go online a lot more often. So this is definitely a eureka we came up with. But there are a couple of things to watch out for. First, cannibalization. That's one thing that you definitely mentioned to us. We have to be careful that some of the other Can-Am products, we don't take away customers from them, bringing them to the Outlander. Next, price wars. I know that pricing is a big point in this case here that we have today that we have to discuss a strategy for. And maybe if we lower it too much, some of our competitors might go in a price war with us. So that's definitely a potential threat. But this all leads us to some amazing opportunities that are available for you today. First, you can capitalize on the online trend. So definitely tapping into that and those consumers who are now online. Next, you can create a community. As we know, there are many community feels, definitely with ATVs as well. Next, look at a new pricing strategy, and finally, show off that ATV. As we know that there are some troubles with information, but it has so many great accessories, so many great features, definitely have the opportunity to show those off.
So now going back to my little story with my dad, how did we ever convince my mom to go whitewater rafting? We had to show her that this is not an extreme sport. This is a family activity that is safe and a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce you here with our strategy. You can with the fame. Can-Am Outlander. Now, what we're going to do with our strategy is exactly what you told us. We're going to do a differentiation strategy because we're going into a new market and we're really introducing a new product. And the way we're going to do that is by targeting the FAM-SAM, this person who is not a part of any of your other BRP segments at the moment. So we're avoiding cannibalization by going for Outdoorsy Oliver. But it's still a very big market and we really can go for this prestige status and so on. Now, in terms of positioning, we're going to be perceived as being very innovative, very reliable, much more than our competitors, which is the exact reason why people are actually going to buy the Outlander L. And in terms of the value proposition, we're going to offer comfort, style, safety, reliability, adventure and spontaneity, and finally, this community feel. People who buy this product are part of a community. It's not just a product at the end of the day. So let's talk about the product. We have some really fun ideas in terms of this product itself. We're going to create Can-Am helmets that are very much customized. And we're also going to have Can-Am family outfits, and we're going to continue having top quality accessories. So these helmets, they look kind of like this, where we have helmets for mom, we have helmets for dad, for Nathan, or maybe Sarah, if Sarah is going for that. So we have these helmets that are really customized, and you can also have clothes that are customized. You can have a t-shirt that says Can-Am Outlander L for Nathan, or for dad. This way people feel like they're part of the product, they're part of the brand, and part of the family. Now, in terms of the price, Andrew will discuss the price further.
So it's very important to us that we kept it under $7,000. Is make sure that it's still in a premium pricing strategy, but not so far ahead of your competitors, Honda and Polaris, that it is going to be outright pushed aside by the family man that's going to need to convince the rest of his family that this is something you need. It's great that you're doing a mid-cc vehicle, but it still needs to be priced in such a way that it remains competitive with the other products. And also in regards to price wars, because you're perceived as such a premium, high quality, top performance vehicle that's always innovating, we believe that you can maintain that price and demand it based on all the things you're offering, especially that 5-year warranty that's just completely outdoing the market.
Now, in terms of the price, we also have some deals that we are going to offer to clients So we have the bro deal, which is really fun because if you purchase the product along with another person, so maybe your cousin, maybe your best friend, anyone along those lines, you can get $500 each in accessories in addition. So this is the bro deal that we're going to introduce, and we're also going to have an environmental discount. So if the product is purchased for an environmentally sustainable purpose, the people who are buying the product can get a discount in this regards. Now, in terms of the place, we're going to start by focusing on states that are really in the south of the United States. And there's a very good reason for it. As Sarah mentioned earlier, this is a very seasonal industry where, depending on the season you're in, you're going to use the product more or less. Because the southern states, they don't have winter, they don't have snow, we're going to start by focusing there. And particularly, we're going to focus on Florida at first because there are a lot of Canadians there. And the reason why we're going to do that is because Bombardier is known in Canada. It's a Canadian company, and people in Canada know how valuable it is of a brand and how quality the products are. So that's it in terms of place. In terms of promotions, we're going to start off by having events, which are annual events for family bonding. And the Can Fam Ride is going to happen on the 4th of July, so for the American Independence Day. And it's going to consist of barbecues, races, obstacle courses. It's really fun. It's just another opportunity to take your new product, your new vehicle, and use it. We're also going to have a motorized vehicle display. So we're going to go to all these shows that have motorboats, that have motorcycles, and so on. And we're going to display your new product so that people are aware of the features that they offer. And in terms of traditional promotions, we're going to do product placement.
So we know a huge show that's actually in the States is Duck Dynasty. Everyone loves Duck Dynasty. It's a great family, and they do some great outdoor adventures. So we're going to actually place a couple of the ATVs in this show, and then hopefully have them later on do a couple of videos here and there. Again, they're very well liked, and it really shows that it's a family thing to do.
Now we're also going to place advertisements in car and driver magazines, but these advertisements are not just going to translate later on. Initially, we're going to put articles in there, and we're going to discuss the features that the new product offers and so on. And we're also going to go on ESPN, where you have live sports, and we're going to feature ads during these live sports. Now, in terms of online, on our website, we're going to have this interactive feature where you could see the product itself, and if you put your cursor over different parts of the product, it will tell you what those features do. And it will show different prices, it will show what happens with add-ons and so on. And on the side, you can also have this little box that's going to say, click here to find out more about our environmental discount. That way you're really promoting that side of your business. Now, in terms of online, we're also going to send out newsletters through direct emails. And in these newsletters, we're going to talk about upcoming family events, and we're going to talk about new product add-ons. We're also going to use AdWords so that you can really optimize the search that happens on Google and Yahoo and so on. And Andrew will talk about AdWords a little later on in the presentation as well. Next, we have the Can-Am virtual experience. This is absolutely amazing. We're utilizing the eureka of there being GoPros that are being used all the time. And what happens is we have these videos that are interactive, and you feel like you're actually on the Outlander L. So these are going to be filmed with GoPro cameras so that you can really picture yourself sitting in that vehicle and knowing what the feel is and what the adventure is all about. And once you sit down, you can decide what route you're taking, and you could click on the next video to see what happens if you choose the left side or if you choose the right route and so on. And finally, in terms of mobile,
we have the Can-Am phone key. So this is definitely looking into the long term, but we know that our target market really uses their smartphones. So we think that we can implement an app that has a GPS on it. You can actually tag your location. So if you're out in the woods going through with your son, he's like, oh, look at that huge tree. You can actually tag it on your GPS so that later on you know the exact route that you went if you want to show it again. You can also record your speed and a lot of cool things like that that can really utilize their cell phones and really enhance this feature.
So now let's take you through an implementation of how we're going to get this plan rolled out. We're going to do a 2-year implementation firstly with the quick route, which will be in the first 4 months, so that we're ready to go to launch in the summer months, which we know it could be a little bit busier. Also, then in the short route, we're going to go from the 4-month period to first year, and then long route for the second year. So moving on to the first year, you're going to prepare those interactive vehicle overview that you're going to have on your website. You're also going to prepare the product placement, just so that the hype starts to happen for it. There's already talk starting. And then you're also going to get the YouTube and website videos going. This is also going to add tip videos, some fun little ways that you can drive the Can-Am around that might help other people, troubleshoots common little problems, and then also maintenance tips, just so they make sure they get the best out of their Outlander. But then also you're going to do motorized vehicle shows. So again, people are seeing that the hype is beginning in preparing for the launch. So we'll move forward to the short route. So this is when your bro deals are going to start to happen. We are operating off the assumption, or the key performance indicator, that you want to get 5% of sales happening with the bro deal. And the great thing about this is the fact that you're giving away accessories and not discounts. The cost to you would only be about $300 as opposed to the $500. Google AdWords, as Alex was talking about earlier, you're going to allocate $5,000 a day. This is a pay-per-click medium, so you don't have to worry. You're going to have people that are actually seeing your website and that Outlander and clicking and being able to actually convert those people. And also get proper analytics, which is why we're running it for over a year, so you can get a good idea of what kind of results you're getting from it. And then also you're going to have TV ads. We know that our target consumer is watching live sports, so that's primarily where we're going to allocate the TV ads. And then you're also going to start out your Can-Am van ride nearing the end in 5 cities to continue and grow that community feel that everybody's going to get. In the long term, we want to continue with the bro deals, continue with the Google AdWords, begin analyzing and see how it's actually performing. And then also TV ads are going to continue. We're going to do the second van ride. We want to increase it and grow it to 6 cities and continue growing it, so you continue growing that community. And then you also in the long term, because as your aging population, you're going to get a lot more environmental concerns. So as a company, working towards carbon footprints balance will also help in just your general view as a company. And then also continue your R&D in improving your fuel efficiency, making sure that the plastics you use don't have harmful chemicals and such. Now if we move on to the financials, let's see what the results of this plan can get you. So we're operating off the assumption that industry growth will be 12% next year, which is half that of what happened last year, and then 5% in 2016. And then also, I used the 450cc prices that we decided upon just to remain conservative with the revenue projections. And also, I had a profit margin estimation of 25%, given that wasn't given in the case. So as we take you through it, the industry is growing. We calculated the industry revenues. One of our key performance indicators is getting to 14% of the market share in the US. So you're going to get 6% each year. Taking that through to a profit margin of 25%, you're going to get a total of $18,233,000 to give you an ROI of 79.33%. Now just for sensitivity, I also calculated it with a 20% profit margin and a 30% profit margin, and respectively you're still going to get at least a 43% return on your marketing investment and at most 115% return on your marketing investment.
Now, in conclusion, in order to get my mom to let us go, to go on these rides, we really had to convince her in a different way. So we communicated a different message, and we told her that yes, you can with the fam, and we showed her that this is a reliable thing you can do, and that it is safe, and this is the exact same message you should be communicating once you enter the United States. So thank you very much for listening to our presentation today, and if you have any questions, this would be the perfect time to ask.
So looking at your strategy had to focus on one or two, what would you do?
So I could just specify in terms of activities, do you mean promotions?
Promotion, you have promotions, you have Can-Am helmets customized, you have a lot of things
best
going on.
ideas.
The best ideas, what do we focus on?
Some of the best ideas are to really push the promotions. Because if you are able to communicate that message across all these channels, you could really show that message to people saying, this is a family activity and this is something that you can do with other people as a social event. So we would really push those promotions, going online, having those interactive videos and going on the website and being able to see what the features offer. You already have a fantastic product, so there's no use in, or the main focus wouldn't have to be of pushing the product and improving it. It would have to be communicating the message.
And you were talking about important trends going on, online, GoPro, you have the environmental discount, you're talking about Duck Dynasty, but it's good, but will it appeal to our consumer? Have you done your research? Is it something that will appeal to our consumer?
The Duck Dynasty aspect reflects family really well, and that reality TV show is one of the top reality TV shows in the US and Canada. So these are really well-known people. They reflect family and also the fact that they are the kind of age group that you're looking for. So this is a man who is in his 40s, which is right near the consumer that you're looking for. So it is really relevant that we do push that specific thing, just for brand recognition and in entering this product.
Just maybe on that aspect, you're recommending to do a GoPro type of videos. Is GoPro more about enthusiast people?
It's beginning to spread across into a more used thing. Even like if you go to the ski hills, you see constantly, you see people that aren't necessarily pros, but they're filming just because something crazy might happen. Something crazy happens to all of us, right? And you see these videos pop up constantly. So it's starting to spread, but the main part of it is that the GoPro gives you that first-person feel. So if you want to communicate what it's going to be like being on the Outlander in the first-person sense, that's the best way to do it, because you feel like you're traveling through the bushes and making those turns, and the excitement comes across through the screen. So that's why we focused on GoPro. It's not necessarily the name, it's the experience that type of video can offer.
Okay. I have another question about you're recommending to do some special helmets. It's fine, but this costs money to develop products. How does it fit in your overall plan? Because I haven't seen this in your launch strategy.
So it would be more of a sticker to do the customizing. You would have a quality sticker in order to do the personalization on the Can-Am helmets, so that you could avoid having an extreme cost. That would be more the route we wanted to go. It should have, that was a mistake, it should have been in the more long-term area, just as another one of the, perhaps as you were saying, one of the lesser important, but still a very useful promotion that you could implement and product adjustments to.
On your last question for me, your value proposition, you're saying we need to talk about comfort, style, safety, reliability, community, you're adding an environment. Which value proposition should we focus on to target our consumer?
It is absolutely crucial for a company to demonstrate that reliability, but also the community feel, because the community feel is what's going to really get the family involved. It's what's going to get them to not only have this product, it's going to give them purposes to use it. It's going to give them an excuse to really want to pull it out and to wear those helmets because they feel like they're part of something else and they can illustrate status. It brings on so much more than just the community feel.
Good for me.